Okay, so are you ready to kind of unlock the power of your mind a little bit?
I'm ready.
Because today, we're diving deep into the realm of the mind. And
Yeah.
this text, it hooked me from the first page.
Oh, yeah.
It describes the mind as like a vast symphony, um, a fertile ground where ideas transform reality.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to
I
explore.
love that fertile ground idea where
Yeah.
like thoughts can actually create and shape the world around us.
Totally. And the text doesn't hold back when it comes to like describing fear.
Right.
It uses really powerful imagery, like
Mhm.
dark and overwhelming, and even like chains enslaving our spirit.
Yeah, it's intense.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
The text links fear not just to our mental state,
Right.
but to our physical well-being.
Yeah. It's true. Have you ever like thought about a time when you were super anxious?
Oh, yeah.
And like, did you notice if you had any physical symptoms? Like, were you more tired or maybe even had a tension headache?
Oh, for sure.
The text compares a mind that's consumed by worry to like a heavy millstone.
Wow.
That constant stress, it really does take a toll on the body.
That's such a vivid image. Like a
Right?
millstone just weighing us down.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though, when you think about it. When we're constantly stressed out, our bodies think that we're in like fight or flight mode all the time.
Right.
And that can manifest in so many ways.
Exactly. Chronic worry and anxiety, they can really just deplete your energy.
Totally.
They can mess with your sleep and even make you more susceptible to getting sick.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing how our minds and bodies are so connected.
It's true. I definitely felt that myself, like worry can physically drain you.
For sure.
But on a more positive note, the realm of the mind also emphasizes the power of focus.
Okay.
There's this great line, every act of our life must be carried out with method, precision, exactitude, and care.
That's a good one. I love how they illustrate that in the text with that story about the old miner.
Yes.
He was talking about how even something as simple as shoveling, when it's done with complete concentration, can become a form of like mastery.
Wow.
It's all about being fully present in each moment, even if it's something that seems really mundane.
Yeah, that really resonates with me because I think especially like in today's world where everything's so fast-paced,
Right.
we're constantly multitasking.
Yeah, always thinking about the next thing.
Yes, exactly. And we rarely give ourselves permission to just be present in the moment.
Yeah. And that's where you get that burnout and you become less efficient.
Yeah.
The realm of the mind really challenges us to rediscover the power of single tasking even. And they have this exercise where they say, try tying 3 knots in a row, but like really focus on what you're doing. Don't let your mind wander.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That sounds deceptively easy.
right?
I feel like if we're all being honest with ourselves, most of us would find that really hard
It's true.
to quiet that mental chatter.
Totally. But that's the whole point the text is making.
Yeah.
We're so used to being distracted all the time that we forget how much power and even peace comes with truly focusing.
It's true.
And this is where it gets really interesting because when we cultivate that focus,
Okay.
it opens us up to a new level of mental clarity and creativity, and the text calls this absorbing thought.
Absorbing thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard that before?
I haven't.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean?
So it's kind of like shifting from a state of mental chaos to one of being really calm and receptive.
Okay.
And they use this really great example in the text of a lily.
Okay.
It effortlessly draws what it needs from its surroundings.
Like sunlight and water.
Exactly. It doesn't overthink or struggle. It just trusts that everything it needs will be there.
Wow.
And it's the same with our minds. When we can quiet the noise and tap into that absorbing thought, we open ourselves up to all sorts of inspiration and insight.
Interesting.
It's like creating space for those aha moments to come through.
Yeah, like when you're trying to remember someone's name
Ooh.
and you just can't think of it.
Right.
And then the moment you stop trying so hard, it just...
It hits you.
Yes, exactly.
The realm of the mind actually mentions that very phenomenon.
Really?
Yeah, it's like our minds are figuring things out in the background all the time. But we block that process with all of our overthinking.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
So much of this is resonating with me, especially this idea of mental tyranny that they talk about.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
It's that like inner critic, you know, those negative thought patterns and self-doubt
For sure.
that can just hold us back
Right.
and keep us stuck.
It's like they're running the show.
Totally. And there's this one line, I think I even wrote it down.
Okay.
It says, the realm of the mind is populated by tyrants individuals who crave control.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
And the text goes on to explain that these tyrants, they aren't always like external forces.
Right.
A lot of times they're coming from inside our own minds, like
Yeah.
these doubts and fears that we have that stop us from living up to our full potential.
And it's almost like we're giving those tyrants permission to run our lives.
Totally.
We let fear make decisions for us or hold us back from taking risks or pursuing the things that we're really passionate about.
Yeah, we get in our own way.
The text actually tells this really interesting story about an invaluable employee
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
who, despite all of their talents and skills, is stuck in this cycle of fear and unfulfilled potential.
That story was so powerful
Yeah.
because it shows how we can end up becoming our own worst enemies.
Totally. It's like we're holding ourselves back.
Exactly. Letting fear and self-doubt overshadow all the amazing gifts that we have inside and keep us from sharing those gifts with the world.
So it's like the text is really urging us to break free from this mental tyranny. But how do we actually do that?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah.
How do we silence those inner critics and actually step into our power?
Yeah.
Well, the realm of the mind suggests that recognizing those negative thought patterns is the first step.
Okay.
Like, we need to be aware of how often we're letting fear dictate the choices that we make and hold us back from going after our dreams.
So it's like we have to shine a light on those negative thoughts.
Exactly. Bring them out into the open so we can see them for what they are.
But recognizing them isn't enough, is it?
No, definitely not.
We have to actively challenge them and replace them with more empowering beliefs.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's about showing ourselves some compassion and replacing that inner critic with a voice of encouragement. We have to recognize our inherent worth and have trust in ourselves that we can get through these tough times. It's about knowing that we've got this.
That reminds me of that quote that's like, what you think you become.
Oh, it's so
And
cool.
this text, The Realm of the Mind, really emphasizes that point.
Right.
That if we're constantly dwelling in a place of fear and negativity, those emotions are going to show up in our lives.
Yeah, it's like you're attracting what you focus on.
But the good news is that the opposite is true too.
Absolutely.
So if we're feeding those negative thoughts, if that's what gives them power, how do we shift gears? How do we focus on the positive and like really embrace our potential?
Well, the text says we can actually learn a lot from that lily we were talking about before.
Okay.
If a simple flower can thrive just by trusting that the universe will provide what it needs, imagine what we could do if we could tap into that same energy.
It's not about pretending like everything's perfect or that we're not going to face challenges.
Not at all.
It's about how we approach those challenges
Exactly.
with like a sense of hope and knowing that we can get through it and trusting ourselves.
You got it. And realizing that, yeah, there are going to be setbacks.
Of course.
But those setbacks don't have to define us. They're just opportunities to learn and grow.
Totally. It's like reframing those experiences.
Exactly. And that's when the real magic happens.
Yeah.
When we quiet that inner critic and we approach life with a sense of openness and possibility, that's when we open ourselves up to a whole world of opportunities.
It's about like taking back our power,
Yes.
shifting from that mindset of fear and limitation
Yeah.
to one of hope and courage, and really believing in our potential.
Exactly. And that's the message at the heart of the realm of the mind.
Yeah.
It's a call to action to step out of those shadows of fear and self-doubt and really step into our own brilliance.
I love that. This deep dive has been amazing.
It has.
It's incredible how much this text, The Realm of the Mind, packed into its pages.
It's really thought-provoking.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's given us a lot to think about and a lot to apply to our own lives.
Absolutely. And as you go out there and explore the power of your own mind, just remember,
Okay.
if a simple flower can thrive